Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben and this is my review for Netflix's original anime, The Orbital Children. Have you heard of this? Let me know in the comments down below if you're a fan of this type of anime. Should you be watching it? Let's find out. In 2045, 2 children born on the moon and 3 kids from Earth try to survive after an accident on their space station leaves them stranded. So there's 6 episodes, about 30 minutes apiece, so it's a different type of length that I'm used to for the traditional anime. Normally it's like 25 minutes and then you take away the intro and the outro, and I was taken back, but I also really appreciated those extra minutes. It also leaves each episode at the end with like a sort of cliffhanger where it just makes you want to click the next episode, so you could easily binge watch this like I did. 6 episodes, just bang them straight out and enjoy it for what it is. And I have to say, the animation for me is probably the thing that I most enjoyed about this series, although I do have a couple of issues with it, but for the most part it reminded me of watching something like a Studio Ghibli film. I know that's everybody's kind of go-to, but for me it did remind me of some of the facial expressions, the mannerisms, the character creations, how they look, the quirkiness of the designs. That is what it reminded me of. Now, you do get a lot of the kind of puppet animation where nothing around, when they're not spending money and nothing around is moving on the character except for the mouth, and it feels like sometimes the characters are talking but just the mouth is moving, and that sometimes is where they save on budget. Unfortunately, this anime has a lot of exposition. Probably 20 minutes out of 30 minutes for each episode is talking, dialogue dumping, explaining where this human society finds themselves, what's going to happen next in the story. And then we do get a bit of action or tenseness in the storylines, and we start developing those quirky characters. The 2 kids on the moon have an interesting backstory which we go into a little bit, and then the 3 kids coming up are each individual. Not enough time is spent on really giving us much about their backstory. You know, like one kid is like the social media entrepreneur, and the other one is the kind of the bad boy but doesn't like earthlings. And so you start to get like where the anime quirks come in. The story is strongest when it's doing kind of trying to survive journey, where the kids are up against the wall, where the space station is kind of breaking down and they have to survive each next thing. So they survive one bit and then something else goes wrong. Where it gets bogged down in its philosophy, really with this sort of anime, it needs maybe more of a budget so they can do a show don't tell. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it, because I totally did, and I like the story that they're kind of trying to tell us, and by the end your mind is filled with all this information of this is probably what would happen if Skynet was allowed to be Skynet, or AI, because we are dealing with quantum computers at the moment, and that is a conversation that everybody is talking about. Everybody that is into AI, that is a worry, like what actually happens when we create proper AI. When we allow the internets or the zeros and ones to become self-aware, what happens to us? And so that kind of is the theme around this story in space, which makes it more tense. The vibrancy is great, the voice work is excellent, the score is fantastic. It's a thing that really helped me put me in the zone of tenseness of what was happening. When I wanted to feel tension, the score helped me do that. And then I cared about the characters somewhat. I didn't, like, when someone was in danger, I didn't go, I really care about whether they die or not. That was never the case. For me, it was more about the visual experience and the kind of the story of the kids surviving this nightmarish world, also trying to make a philosophical answer. You needed something like that, and they were really trying to dish it out through their expositional dumping, which I thought was okay, but I do think they did it way too much. I would have preferred maybe another 6 episodes, given some backstory, more action sequences, something just to stop it from being so expositional. Still enjoyed it, still going to give it 3 out of 5 Nicolas Cages. So if you're looking for a quick anime to watch, the way this is created feels like it's a long film that's been cut up into bits, but cleverly done with like those ending sequences where it makes you want to watch the next episode. I think that's a clever formula, but it's not one that I'm eager to go back and watch. I have so much anime to watch, and there's definitely better anime out there. I appreciated the art style, the score, and the voice acting in itself, but the story felt bogged down with exposition dumping. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.